Hello everyone, welcome to Winged Paper Crafting. My name is Angel Fitch. If you're new around here, welcome. If you're returning, welcome back. I'm so glad you've stopped by my YouTube channel. Today we're going to do a series that I'm calling Fun Fold Friday, and we're going to make this card tonight. This is called a double-decker pop-up card, and as you can see, as you open it up, the middle of it pops up. Isn't that so cool? So this I used I made this using the Painterly Pears suite, as you can tell, since we've been working with this suite a lot lately. I did some stamping on the outside and on the inside as well. And these pieces here are embossed with a retired embossing folder that I think was called Ferns, I think. So I just wanted some leafy pieces on this. So there's our example. We're going to use a different suite tonight for this one. So I'm going to use a suite that's called Peaceful Garden. And let me show you the paper here that goes to this suite. Let me move our card out of the way. So this is the Peaceful Garden suite. It comes with 12 pieces of paper, 6 pieces with two of each pattern. And this one, as you can tell, I've been playing, and that's all I have left of this pattern. I guess I really liked that one, huh? So here's the fronts. The colors for this suite are, the coordinating colors I should say, are Basic Beige, Cloud Cover, Crumb Cake, Misty Moonlight, Pecan Pie, and Secret Sea. So the front sides are all blue in nature. We'll flip them over here to the back sides, and you do see where we get some of that crumb cake in here. And Basic Beige. So there's the back sides. A little more muted than the front sides. Love this dove paper here on this one. So I guess this is probably the back of that one. But doves are nice. Okay, so there's also a coordinating glitter paper set. So you get 2 sheets of each of 3 colors. There's Secret Sea, Silver, and Misty Moonlight. And who doesn't like some glitter paper? Love this. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started on our card here. So let me get our pieces that we're going to need. So we've got card base, Secret Sea, 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4, and then at 2 1/8. And we're going to take this and fold it this way and give it a good burnish. And then you fold the front back on itself. And we'll burnish that as well so we can get our card to lay down. Okay, so there's our card base. Now, we've got a piece of pattern paper here that's 5 by 4 1/4 that's going to go on the inside here. So we'll go ahead and put that down first. This is a card you definitely have to build in layers. So let's get our pattern paper down here as our first layer. Just like that. Okay, now, the next piece we've got, so on our sample card where I did the pieces that I embossed, the one on the outside and inside, on this card we're going to use some of this glitter paper. So we're going to put a piece there and a piece on the inside. So let's go ahead and get these down. I'm going to use liquid glue just so I can wiggle these around and make sure they're straight. So let's get some glue on this. And we'll start with the inside. I'll just open this up and start with the inside piece here. So this is going to go here. And I'm just trying to make sure that it's even top to bottom. So just like our pattern paper, I want it to match. And then centered and not inside this little square side to side. So that looks pretty good. Let's see. Maybe just a hair up. There we go. Okay, now we're going to fold that back over and we'll put this one on the outside. Again, trying to get it lined up with the pattern paper on the top and the bottom. So that looks pretty good. And we'll just give that a good burnish down there. Okay, so there's our next layer. Now, we're going to, here's the little pieces. So we're going to do some stamping. And I've also done some die cutting out of the piece. So the stamp set and die set that comes with the Peaceful Garden Suite is called Peace on Earth. You got quite a few wordy bits here and some dies. And the dies have got some leaves, some, I'm calling this like a starburst, and some frames and a couple of doves. And honestly, I'm not sure what this piece is yet. I haven't played with it, but we'll figure it out eventually. So I've cut a dove and a leafy thing here and a starburst out of cloud cover. So we're going to use those in a minute. So I'm just going to push those to the side. Now, I've got a piece of Secret Sea that's going to go on the inside, but we're going to stamp first and put our stamped piece here. So this is going to be our inside piece that we're stamping on, and here's our front cover piece. So, and this is going to be our mechanism to make the card pop. So let's put those out of the way and let's do some stamping. So on the front, I'm going to use the Peace on Earth. I'm going to use this Big Hugs for a Good Friend on the outside, and on the inside we're going to do Heartful Prayers. So let's get our Big Hugs for a Good Friend stamp, and we'll just ink it up real good. And I'm going to put this in the down here at the bottom in the lower right hand corner of our white piece here. So just like that. And then I've got a little flower here. There weren't any flowers obviously in the Peace on Earth stamp set since it's all words, but I wanted a little flower to go here actually on the inside of our card. So I pulled out the Thankful Garden stamp set, and here's a little flower bit that we're going to use. So I'm going to stamp our Heartfelt Prayers on the inside of our card. So we'll go just right here at the top. It'll fit real nicely across the top of our little white piece here. There we go. And I'm just going to take our little flower bit here and just put this right down here in the bottom corner. So there's our inside piece. So this we're going to put on here, and this we're going to put, nope, wrong way, this one on here. Okay, so we're done stamping, so let me go ahead and put our ink away. Now, we're going to take our little leafy flourish here, and we're going to put that up the side of our card, and then we've got our little dove we're going to kind of pop up right there. So let's get our leafy bit down, and then we'll decide if we're going to use our little star bits. I'm not sure. I cut them because I liked them, but I'm not sure if I've got a place to put them, honestly. But we'll see. We'll get there. So I'm going to take the fine tip glue and just put a little dot on the inside, or on each of the little leaves. And try not to overdo it, but I do see I got it on my glass mat, so I'm just going to wipe that away here with a paper towel. Okay, so I'm going to take this, and I'm just going to put it right, starting down here in the lower corner. I'm just going to set it right like that. Try not to move it around because you don't want to get glue everywhere. So I'm going to let that dry for a minute. Okay, so we'll put that over there. Now, do we think we want to use our little star things here? I'm not sure we need them, honestly. So I think we're going to leave them off. I've just decided I don't think I need those, so that's okay. I'll use them on a different project. So I think we can go ahead and put our inside sentiment down on the mat. So again, I'm going to use some liquid glue here so I can move this around if I need to. So I'm just going to try to center that just like that. And we'll put that up there and let that dry for just a second. This piece we're going to put on our other mat of Secret Sea. So right like this. Okay. Alright, so that looks good. Now, we're going to put our dove on next, and I want to pop it up with some dimensionals. First of all, I'm going to put the lid on the fine tip glue, because if I don't, it'll clog up. So let's put that away. Now, we're going to take our little dove here. I've got some dimensional side pieces I'm trying to use up, so I'm just going to cut some of these, and we'll use these for our dove. So I'm going to put one on each wing, and then, oops, we got two. So we're going to put one in the middle right here. Okay. And maybe a tiny one right there. Okay. I just don't want any part of him or her drooping once we get it on here. So we'll get the backs off, and we're just going to, I'm going to just kind of bend the little feathers up here so we can give it just a tad bit of dimension. And it's okay if it hangs off the side of the card, because it's going to actually hang over on top of this. So let's see. What if we just do, I think I like it just like that. Okay, so we'll get that down. We've got our little leaves, we can kind of, our little feathers we can kind of bend up here. Okay, so there's our front piece. Now, we'll put it on at the very end. What we need to do now is we need to put our, not this, we need our mechanism first. So this is a piece that is, let me get you the dimensions. It is, the pop-up piece is 2 1/4 by 3, and then it's scored at 3/4 of an inch, 1.5 inches, and 2 1/4. So we're going to take our bone folder and we're going to burnish this on each one of these score lines. And we'll just get them all nice and good there. Okay, so now this is the tricky part of this card. So let me get our pieces up out of the way here. So we've got our mechanism here, and we're going to take it and we're going to fold it in half. And I'm going to use tear and tape because you really need it to stick. And I really need it to stick to this glitter paper, and the liquid glue or the Stampin' Seal does not seem to want to stick to it. So, ask me how I know. Because I've tried and I couldn't get it to stick. So I'm just going to put 2 good pieces on here. And we'll get the back off. Oh, come on. There we go. Now, we're going to take this, I'm going to turn it over, and we're going to put it right here, lined up with the edge of our pattern paper here, and kind of in the middle. So top to bottom, centered top to bottom is what I would like. Okay, so I'm going to burnish that down so we make sure it sticks. Okay, now we're going to take a couple more pieces of tear and tape, and we're going to put on this piece right here. So get that down. We'll get one more so we make sure it really stays. Because this is the part that's going to take a lot of, abuse on this card every time it gets opened. So we want to make sure it sticks because nobody wants their card to fall apart. Okay, so I'm going to take this, I'm going to lay it flat, and I'm just going to shut this. And I'm going to give it a good burnish. And there is our mechanism. Okay, so that worked out well. Now, we're going to take our inside piece, so this piece right here, and we're going to put it right in here. So we're going to take a little bit of glue, and I'm just going to glue right here on this part. Take our inside piece, and we're going to try to center this up, top to bottom, the best we can. Okay, so I've got it just resting on that, and I'm just going to shut it. And then you can still kind of maneuver it and make sure it's even. I'm just going to hold this for a second. Okay, now you can see what this does. It pops up when you open it. So cute. Okay, now our last piece is going to be our outside piece, which is going to go right here. So we need it to kind of sit within the framework of our bottom piece, because it'll cover up, you know, the white piece when you're looking from the outside. So we kind of need to make sure we put our adhesive, you know, no further over than about right here, because we don't want it to show. So we're just going to put some down here. I'm going to use tear and tape again because I want it to stick to our glitter paper. So we're going to put a piece here and another piece right there. And then we'll try one more piece close to that first one. I just want to give it extra reinforcement. So we'll get our backs off here. And this piece, it looks like I went over just a little bit, which is fine, because you can just take this and just fold it back on itself, and then it'll be, you know, back off the front. Nobody's going to see it. Okay, so we're going to take this, line this up with our bottom piece so that it's just sitting just within that bottom cardstock. And we're going to put it, give that a good burnish. And then we've got our nice hidden surprise on the inside. Okay, last thing it needs is some bling. And we've got the hues of blue flowers that came with this Peaceful Garden set. So these are the gems that go with it. And I think we're going to use, okay, so there's 4 colors. You've got Secret Sea, Misty Moonlight, Cloud Cover, and White. And we're going to use the Secret Sea ones. So I'm going to take a couple of the big ones. I'm going to put one, oops, right there. Except I've got it upside down. So let's put one right there. And another big one we'll put up here. And then a little one right there. Isn't that so cute? So cute. I just love this card. And it's nice, a nice surprise. Okay, so here are our 2 double-decker pop-up cards. So same card, but 2 different suites make it look completely different. So 2 different occasions and 2 different looks, but still cute all the way around. So drop me a comment and let me know which one is your favorite. And this is our first, as I said, Fun Fold Friday, so we'll have another one next Friday. So make sure you hit that like and subscribe, and ring that notification bell so that you get notified every time I upload a video. And I will see you all next Friday with our next Fun Fold Friday. Have a good evening. Bye.